and I, I call him Bob. I actually can't remember when I met him because I met him so long ago.
I've almost known Marie Claude as long as I knew my wife because Marie Claude and my wife Barbara went to Chapin at roughly the same time.
But I remember meeting Bob, and I remember always liking him. I always liked Bob. And I liked Barbara, his wife. I mean, we would double date.
In the 70s, when Marie Claude and Eddie moved to Salt Lake City, Barbara and I used to go out every year to ski. Almost every year for as long as they lived there. We would have dinner together when we went out skiing.
We had absolutely no idea what the future would eventually hold. I mean, it's really quite amazing to us.
In 2005, which was about 6 or 8 months after my wife Barbara had died, I was coming back from a business meeting in Brooklyn.
I work in Brooklyn, in downtown Brooklyn, and I was coming back from lunch, and I happened to look up, and who do I see but Bob Myers going into the subway.
And this voice called out to me, "Bob." And I ignored it. I mean, Bob is a common name, and besides, I didn't know anybody in Brooklyn.
So I called even more loudly. I called out, "Bob, Bob," and I may have said Bob Myers. He finally looked up. I mean, he realized it was somebody who knew him.
So I turned around, and there was this cute little woman about 20 feet away. I thought, oh, it's Marie Claude.
By some fluke, I hadn't heard that Barbara had died.
We hugged, and I told her the bad news about Barbara. And I guess we must have talked for a couple of minutes about nothing in particular. And then I went down to the subway, and she went back to her office, which was just around the corner. And I got home, and I thought, well, gee, I should really continue this friendship because she's an old friend, and she's cute.
I think that day he called me up.
So I said, how about going to Sunday brunch at the Tuxedo Club? And she said, gee, that's a nice idea.
Certainly didn't think it was going to lead to marriage at all at that time. I mean, I wasn't thinking of marriage. You know, I was busy working and, you know, doing my own thing, and, you know, I wasn't thinking in those terms.
I tried very diligently not to let her off the hook. I kept calling her, and she was she was willing to go out to movies or the theater or whatever.
I mean, this is quite extraordinary for me, my age, because I'm really making a new beginning and meeting all sorts of new people, really at an age when, unfortunately, some of our friends are disappearing. So he invited me out for one evening and ordered French champagne, and he proposed to me over champagne.
It really does feel great to get married again.